Yes, Mataji.
Right? Yeah.
I just started the
Right?
recording now.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just making sure. Yeah. If I'm following everything. Yes. I think we'll go ahead to the pranam. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakayam Chakshurunmilitam Yenam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Uttapadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sakrachatam Sahaganam Raghunadanvitam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Priyam Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadharam Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachayani Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Stale Stale Yasya Kripa Prabhavi Krishna Nyatrushna Janasamhita Nirmulita Eva Bhavanti Tasmai Namo Namah Shrila Narottamaya Ayinanda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitamam Vishami Bhavam Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaj Stita Dhuli Sadrasham Chintaya Nayanam Galadashrudharaya Vadanam Gatkataruttaya Pulakairnichitair Vapukada Tavanama Grahane Bhavish Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langaite Giri Yet Kripatam Aham Bande Shri Gurum Dinatharinam Paramananda Madhav Shri Chaitanya Tathapi Kirtayami Anga Yadamatim Yadashrutam Kirtim Harim Swam Satkartum Giram Anyapidasati Stitir Seva Gatariyatra Stutir Vacha Smitis Chitta Bhuyat Sarvatmana Vishnu Maidyam Tvaicheshtita Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityanandam Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So, the devotees, Shri Chaitanya Pravaha. Yeah, Chaitanya Katha, Gaura Katha. So, Shri Chaitanya Pravaha is the Pravaha, flow of Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So, that's what we are going to hear for next 4 months. So, but before entering into Sri Chaitanya Pravaha, we want to hear what is the need of Gaura Katha when there is Krishna Katha. Is there a difference between Krishna Katha and Gaura Katha? No? That's one thing. And the second thing is, we have Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, right? Is there any other literature in regards to Gaura Katha? So that we will hear, and after that we will enter into Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay. So the first one, the first question: is there a difference between Krishna Katha and Gaura Katha? And is there a need for Gaura Katha when there is Krishna Katha? Yeah. It's like this. We have Bhagavad Gita, and we also have Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita is about the song of God, what Lord Krishna spoke. Srimad Bhagavatam is about Krishna, everything about Krishna. Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila, right? Including what the Lord spoke. Srimad Bhagavatam has everything about Krishna. So this is Krishna Katha. What Krishna spoke, what the Lord spoke, and the Katha about him, Krishna Katha. Very beautiful. Then what is the need of Chaitanya Charitamrita when there is Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam? Chaitanya Charitamrita, Gaura Katha is bring us closer to Krishna. In Bhagavad Gita, when Lord Krishna said, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, Lord Krishna said it, but how to understand what Lord Krishna said and how to live what Lord Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita. And in Bhagavatam, there is Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila of Bhagavan. But how to get attachment with the Nama of the Lord and how to be absorbed in the Rupa, Guna, Lila of the Lord. Who is going to teach us? What is going to help us to get that attachment absorption in Krishna? It's Chaitanya Charitamrita. The Charita of Lord Chaitanya, the instructions and pastimes of Gauranga Mahaprabhu in Chaitanya Charitamrita, they help us to live the instructions of the Lord, to get attached to the holy name of the Lord, and to be absorbed in the Rupa Guna Lila of the Lord. That's what the whole Chaitanya Charitamrita is about. Gauranga Mahaprabhu, the Lord, he's showing there. He's showing there how to follow the instructions of Bhagavad Gita and how to get attached and absorbed, attached to the Lord and absorbed in the thoughts and seva of the Lord. That when the Lord is showing, that becomes Chaitanya Charitamrita. That is Gaura Katha. So Gaura Katha, the speciality of Gaura Katha is this. The very wonderful speciality is this. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna explained about the modes, right? So Tamoguna, Rajoguna, and Satvaguna. And after that, the Lord said, okay, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na Shochati na Kankshati. Samasarveshu Bhuteshu Mat Bhakti Labhate Param. Wow, you said it so easily, quickly, dear Lord. But all these modes, to get over these modes and come to the Brahma Bhuta platform, and then the pure devotional service begins. How can all that happen to a conditioned jiva? That Gaura Katha. The magic of Gaura Katha is, it can bring a conditioned jiva beyond the modes, beyond the Brahma Bhuta platform, places directly in the pure devotional service of the Lord. That's Gaura Katha. That's the potency of Gaura Katha. So, like that, too. So, not only to uplift, to bring these jivas out of these modes, beyond the Brahmabhuta platform and place in pure devotional service. But in that process, bringing great attachment to the Nama of the Lord and absorption in Lord Krishna. All these things are very beautifully done by Gaurakatha. So in this way, Gaurakatha brings us very close to Krishna with great attachment to the Lord and absorption in the Lord. That's Gaurakatha. So in this way, there is no difference between Krishna Katha and Gaurakatha, but Krishna Katha is honored so much more. And Krishna Katha can, the absorption in Krishna Katha can be so much more when through Gaurakatha, through the instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and by hearing the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and hearing how he conducted himself as a devotee, showing us how to do Krishna Bhakti. So Gauranga Mahaprabhu is bringing great attachment and absorption of Lord Krishna within us. So in this way, Gaurakatha helps us get attached and absorbed in Krishna. Like that. So that's the place of Chaitanya Charitamrita when there is Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam already. And that's the magic and the role of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his instructions and pastimes to bring that great attachment and absorption in Lord Krishna. So that's the significance of Gaurakatha. That's the magic of Gaurakatha. Right? So where is this Gaurakatha available? Where is the Katha about Lord Krishna Chaitanya available? One is Murari Gupta. He was an associate of the Lord. So he was a contemporary and associate of the Lord, and he wrote Sri Krishna Chaitanya Charita. That was in Sanskrit, okay, in those days. So that's the first book that's authorized and available on Gaur Katha. That was by Murari Gupta. And after that, when Lord Nityananda instructed Srila Vrindavan Das Thakura, he wrote Chaitanya Bhagavata. Okay. And this Chaitanya Bhagavata, that gives us the details and information about the early life of the Lord Gauranga, up until sannyasa, like that. That's Chaitanya Bhagavata. And after that, there is a disciple of Srila Narahar Chakravarti. His name was Lochandas Thakura. So he was instructed by his guru to write the Gaurakatha. So he also wrote Chaitanya Bhagavata. He also named it as Chaitanya Bhagavata. Even before that, Vrindavan Das Thakura, he wrote Chaitanya Bhagavata. But Lochan Das Thakura also wrote about Gauranga Mahaprabhu as instructed by his spiritual master, Narahar Sarkar. But that was also named Chaitanya Bhagavata. So all the Goswamis in the Vrindavan, they thought there will be a confusion between these two literatures. So let's just name Lochana Das Thakura's Chaitanya Katha as Chaitanya Mangala. So Lochan Das Thakura, in that way, we can understand that Lochan Das Thakura wrote Chaitanya Mangala. So his writing, Lochan Das Thakura's writing is called Chaitanya Mangala. And Srila Vrindavan Das Thakura, his writing is Chaitanya Bhagavata. What is the difference between these two? Chaitanya Bhagavata, that is more like We see the postings coming, right? Chaitanya Bhagavata. That is more like a Varnanatmaka Shastra. All the pastimes of Gauranga Mahaprabhu and the instructions of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, they were described in detail by Vrindavan Das Thakura. Very beautiful one. The pastimes were described in so much of a detail. It just feels like we are placed in those pastimes. Very beautiful. That's Chaitanya Bhagavata, Varnanatmaka Shastra, because a detailed description of the pastimes of the Lord and the instructions of the Lord. And Chaitanya Mangala by Lochana Das Thakura is Rasatmaka Shastra, fully laden with rasa, exudes with rasa. Why like that? Because Lochana Das Thakura, he did not write the Gaur Katha with an intention to present philosophy or instructions like that. He just wrote Gaura Katha. He was a musician. So he wrote Chaitanya Mangala in a very poetic way, full of rasa, to broadcast the glories of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So that's why Chaitanya Mangala is more of a poetry, a musical poetry full of rasa, Chaitanya Mangala. Chaitanya Bhagavata is a detailed description of the pastimes of the earlier pastimes of the Lord with the instructions, a detailed description of the pastimes and instructions of the Lord. So this is the difference between the Chaitanya Bhagavata of Vrindavan Das Thakura and Chaitanya Mangala of Lochana Das Thakura. Okay, so these are the three books that are generally mentioned. Then where is this Chaitanya Charitamrita coming from? Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he was instructed by Nityananda Prabhu, to write this Chaitanya Charitamrita. So what is his source? Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, when he was instructed by Nityananda Ram to go to Vrindavana, he went to Vrindavana. And there, Jiva Goswami was there, Raghunath Das Goswami was there. Yeah. By that time, Raghunath Das Goswami, he was every day, he was just surviving by glorifying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What happened was, Raghunath Das Goswami, when he went to Vrindavana, after Gauranga Mahaprabhu left this world, he was in separation of Gauranga Mahaprabhu so much that he wanted to leave his body, so-called commit suicide, leave his body in separation, and he wanted to jump from the Govardhan hill. Then the Rup Sanatan Goswamis there they were present there, and they said, no, you don't do that. You please, you are so valuable, you are carrying, you have seen the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and you have experienced his pastimes because you were there. So please, speak the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that will survive you, and we will also survive by hearing the glories of Mahaprabhu. So in this way, he was instructed, Raghunath Das Goswami was instructed by other Goswamis to speak Gaur Katha every day. And that's where Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was sitting and hearing Raghunath Das Goswami. And where is Raghunath Das Goswami getting this Gaur Katha from? Remember? Raghunath Das Goswami. He ran from his house to Jagannath Puri to meet Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So he met Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Of course, he met even before Lord Chaitanya took sannyasa, but finally he met Gauranga Mahaprabhu when Lord Gauranga took sannyasa and was in Puri. So Raghunath Das Goswami met Lord Chaitanya when he was in Puri, and he was put under the care of Swarup Damodar Goswami. That's why he's called Swarupera Raghunatha, because there is other Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami. So Raghunath Das Goswami is called Swarupera Raghunatha because he was cared by Swarup Goswami. So because he was with Swarupa Damodar, Lalita, Vishaka. So Swarupa. So because he was cared by him, and because he was with him, um, he had witnessed the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. Raghunath Das Goswami. He actually witnessed the pastimes in the Gambhira also. Actually, he did not, he was with Swarup Damodar Goswami. So he was assisting him. So he could witness Gambhira pastimes a little bit, but he could hear from Swarup Damodar Goswami. He was writing his diary too, Swarup Damodar Goswami. So from this, from Swarup Damodar Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami he got to know about the pastimes in Gambhira also, pretty intense pastimes in separation, like that. So this is Raghunath Das Goswami. He is full of Gaura. He has experienced it, not only witnessed, but experienced firsthand the Gaura Lila. And now he is in Vrindavana speaking all that. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is hearing all that. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he was instructed by Nityanandaram to write Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this is how Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita comes to us. As we heard before, Chaitanya Bhagavata, it has a detailed description of the pastimes and instructions, the earlier pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, up until sannyasa, up until just the entry into Jagannath Puri, like that. That's all, Chaitanya Bhagavata. But what happened after the Lord took sannyasa, all those pastimes in Jagannath Puri, and of course, South India Yatra, all that, what happened after that, this is all covered in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So the later pastimes are covered in Chaitanya Charitamrita only. The earlier pastimes are present, very briefly present in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Because they're present in detail in Chaitanya Bhagavata. Like that. So that is about different books on Gaurakatha. And this is how Chaitanya Charitamrita is given to us by by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Okay. So that's about Chaitanya Gaurakatha and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Now we can enter into Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Chaitanya Charitamrita is divided into Adi Lila, Madhya Lila, and Antya Lila. Even before going into Adi Lila, Madhya Lila, and Antya Lila, the author, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, in his own beautiful, potent words, tells us the wonderful effect of Gaurakatha. So we will hear that, and then we enter into the Chaitanya Charitamrita. All right, devotees, I'm going to open this. So this is Chaitanya Charitamrita. And again, there are so many slides here because it looks like this is the summary of the whole Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we will use those slides, important slides that can fit in within this 1 hour and can help with the flow of Chaitanya Pravaha. So, and yes, I want to, my gratitude, where to start? The Gaur Lila, especially with the Gaur Lila, we hear from these authors, Chaitanya Mangala, in the words of Srila Lochandas Thakura, he says, I am such a unqualified person, I cannot say what is left, what is right. And here I am trying to reach the sky with my hands. And also like a blind man trying to see the Chintamani jewel. Is that possible? That's not possible. In the same way, Speaking Gaura Katha is also not possible. It is beyond my capacity and qualification. But I am praying. I am praying. My only prayer is that I carry the lotus feet of my Guru, Shri Narhari Sarkar. So I may be able to speak this Gaura Katha. Those are the words of Lochandas Thakur. I can only bow down to those words because Gaur Katha is like that. I have no words of mine. So those are the words of Lochandas Thakur, and bowing down to those words and walking in the footsteps of those acharyas. I am praying. I am praying to our Gurujana. I am praying to be in the shelter of the lotus feet of our Gurujana. So Gaura Katha may be served properly for my purification. And not only purification. Gaura Katha not only purifies us but places us in pure devotional service of the Lord, in love of Godhead. So I'm praying that that happens to me and to all of you, to all of us, with the blessings of Sri Guru and Gauranga. So, and also many thanks to Gauranga Darshan Prabhu for allowing us to share his PowerPoint, beautiful PowerPoint presentation, but we will use only those slides that can fit in our time slot like that. So now in the words of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, what is the Palastuti of Chaitanya Lila? Palastuti is fruit. What is the fruit of hearing Chaitanya Lila? Shunile khandi bechitera ajnanadi dosha Krishna ghada prema habi pai be santosha Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Advaita Mahatva Tanra Bhakta Bhakti Nama Prema Rasa Tattva Bhinna Bhinna Likayachi Kariya Vichara Shunile Jani Besaba Vastu Tattva Sara. He's saying, Shunile Khandi Bechitera Ajnanadi Dosha Krishna Ghada Prema Be Pai Be Santosha. When we hear Gaura Katha, the Chaitanya Lila, Shunile, when we hear that, our chitta, which is faulty with ignorance, that is cleansed. And not only that, Krishna Ghada Prema Habe, Ghada Prema to Krishna, intense attachment, Rati, Ghada Prema to Krishna, that will be obtained, Paibe Santosha, and one will be ecstatic. Chittera Ajnadi Dosha can happen with other scriptures. With Srimad Bhagavatam also, with Krishna Katha. And the ignorance is dispelled. Right? Vasudevi Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janyate Asu Vairagyam Jnanam Cha Haitukam. That happens with Krishna Katha. But when we hear the Chaitanya Lila, not only the Ajnana, ignorance is dispelled, but Krishna Gada Prema, deep love for Krishna is revived. And we are placed in ecstasy. Pai Besantosha. That is the potency of Chaitanya Lila. And Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Advaita Mahatva, Tanra Bhakta Bhakti Nama, Prema Rasa Tattva, Binna Binna Likaiche, Kariya Vichara, Shunile Jani Besaba, Vastu Tattva Shara. Shunile Jani Besaba, Vastu Tattva Sara. To understand the Bhakti Tattva, hear and understand Shunile Jani Be. The Bhakti Tattva is well understood when we hear and understand Sri Chaitanya, Nityananda, Advaita and their devotees. So the tattva of Chaitanya, Nityananda, Advaita, the devotees of this Panchatattva, Tantra Bhakta, the devotees of this Panchatattva, Bhakti, their devotion, Nama Prema Rasa Tattva, their devotion, their names, and their wonderful loving exchanges. When we hear and understand the Tattva of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, Advaitacharya, and the devotees of Panchatattva, their names, and all of them interacting together with love, the loving reciprocations between all of them. When we hear and understand this, then the Bhakti Tattva is understood well. See? So without Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhakti Tattva cannot be understood so easily. Just because we are hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam. With the help of this Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Chaitanya Lila, Bhakti Tattva that is presented in Srimad Bhagavatam is understood well. It sits within us. And that's why Kaviraj Goswami is saying, Binna Binna Likai Chikariya Vichara. That's why I presented this with all discrimination. I presented this Chaitanya Katha with all discrimination. So this is the effect of hearing Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Chaitanya Lila, says Vrindavan Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And because it has this wonderful effect, Shri Chaitanya Lila ye Amritera Sindhu Trijagata Bhasite Pare Yara Eka Bindu Chaitanya Charitamrita Nitya Karapana Yaha Haite Premananda Bhakti Tattva Jnana. Shri Chaitanya Lilaye Amritera Sindhu Trijagata Bhasite Pare Yara Eka Bindu Chaitanya Charitamrita Nitya Chaitanya Charitamrita Nitya Karapana Yaha Haite Premananda Bhakti Tattva Jnana. This tune is the original tune for Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Gaudiya tune for the whole Chaitanya Charitamrita. So yeah, because the Chaitanya Charitamrita has that wonderful, the Chaitanya Lila has that wonderful effect. One drop of the Chaitanya Lila can inundate the whole world in the love of God. And that's why Chaitanya Charitamrita Nitya Karapana. So that's why drink and the Katha of Chaitanya. Nitya, every day. Yaha haite Premananda Bhakti Tattva Jnana. In this way, you will understand the Bhakti Tattva and also you will experience the bliss of Premananda. That's Chaitanya Charitamrita. Shruyatam Shruyatam Nityam Giyatam Giyatam Mudha Chintyatam Chintyatam Bhaktas Chaitanya Charitamritam. Here. Sing, sing, sing. And meditate. Think. Meditate upon Chaitanya Lila. Like that. So that's the magical potency of Chaitanya Lila and the Palashruti of Chaitanya Lila. One more thing, very specific and unique about the Gaura Priyajanas, the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is humility. We just heard what Lochana Das Thakur was saying, right? That his humble words, that he has no qualification. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he is saying, Jagai Madai Haite Muni se Papishta, Purishera Kita Haite Muni se Lakishta. I am very much fallen, even than Jagai and Madai. Not only that, but I am so much fallen than the worms in the stools. I'm so much fallen than the worms in the stool. And these words, these are Mahabhagavatas. You know, when the language has to express an emotion and a quality, and this is the best it could get to in terms of explaining humility. So this is the humility of those Gaura Bhaktas, the devotees of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And it just, it is like a hallmark of all these Gaura Bhaktas, the humility. So that is Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. We can only repeat these words. We can only repeat their words, hear their words, and bow down to them, so that a humility can come and sit within us. So now entering into Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is divided into Adi Lila, Madhya Lila, and Antya Lila. Adi Lila is this, here in this presentation. Adi Lila, there is Mangalacharan and Adi Lila. Okay, Mangalacharan and description of Chaitanya Lila, and a brief description of the early pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu up until he takes sannyasa. Why like that? Adi Lila is so much, but the description of the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya is only a little, like 5 chapters, because all of this is presented detail in Chaitanya Bhagavata. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami very humbly refers all the readers to please read Chaitanya Bhagavata, because he gives such a honor and respect to the previous authors, his predecessors. Vrindavan Das Thakura is called as Vyasa of Chaitanya Bhagavata. So because he explained that in detail, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami gives only a brief description of the early pastimes of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Adi Lila up until sannyasa. Rest of it all is about tattva. So this tattva is present in Madhya Lila and Antya Lila also. Yeah, when Rai Ramananda Samvada there, and when Lord Chaitanya is speaking to Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami, there also the tattva is present. But the preliminary understanding that we all need is presented here. The tattva is presented here in Adi Lila, in the very beginning. And a word here is, it is not so easy to understand. Neither the tattva nor the pastimes of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. That is why Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is called as a PhD subject matter. Because this is the example. See, all the religions of the world, they present their philosophy in a very simple way. Okay, here is the God, and you worship him. Here is, Jesus Christ, the Son of God, and the Father in heaven, and okay, these are the prayers you recite. Or here is Allah, and this is Quran, these are the prayers to recite. Like that, those are the simplified versions, right? They are like this. If somebody says, there you go, you see that image that is present distantly, a big image, so that is called mountain. Yeah, so you just worship that mountain. So seeing the Lord in such a distance, where you can just see the image of the mountain, it is just simple to see the image of the mountain and then say, okay, that is mountain. So the rest of the religions are also like that. It is just the simplified version of Lord. And so their prayers are simplified like that. Their understanding is also, it's more of a basic understanding. But when it comes to the understanding that is given through Chaitanya Charitamrita, it's a very detailed understanding of the Lord. See, when we see the mountain from a distance, it just looks like a big mass sitting there, a shadow like that. But when we drive close to the mountain, then we see, oh, this is not just a big mass, a lump sitting there. It is so green. Yeah, so green. This mountain, there are many trees on this mountain. That's the understanding of Sanatana Dharma. Just the understanding of just an image of the mountain is the basic understanding by the other religions. But the understanding of the absolute truth by the Sanatana Dharma is like getting a closer view and understanding the mountain as something that is big, made of rock, and has trees. That's Sanatana Dharma understanding. But the understanding that Chaitanya Charitamrita gives about the Lord is so detailed. So detailed. What type of understanding does it give? It zooms us in and it places us on the mountain. Then what do we see? We not only see that that mountain is made of rock and that there are trees, but there are people also living there. There are people, there are animals, there is life going on that mountain. So such detailed description of Bhagavan, the personality of the Lord, the mood of the Lord. The Lord has different moods and personalities and dimensions to his infinite self. That is all complex, detailed understanding. So that's the tattva that's presented in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So that's the tattva. We will try to simplify everything so we can understand it in a crisp manner and pack it here. Yeah, we'll try to do that. So the tattva is present. And so that's the tattva is present in the Adi Lila. Major part of the tattva is present in the Adi Lila. So Adi Lila has this tattva and the brief earlier pastimes of Lord Chaitanya up until Sannyasa. And when Lord goes to Puri, after Sannyasa pastimes are Madhya Lila in Puri. Madhya Lila is the Lord going to Puri after Sannyasa, the South India Yatra, and some pastimes in Puri and the Vrindavan Yatra. All that is in Madhya Lila. And Antya Lila is after the Lord returns from Vrindavana and where he has his wonderful reciprocations with the devotees around. And most important is his Gambhira pastimes. They are present in the Antya Lila. So this is Adi Lila, Madhya Lila, and Antya Lila. What we are going to hear today is a little bit in this Adi Lila. See, we see here Adi Lila has this, is divided into three parts here in the presentation. The Mangalacharana, description of Chaitanya tree, and Lord's pastimes, initial pastimes. So this Mangalacharana, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he divided this into these categories. Chaitanya Tattva, Nityananda Tattva, Advaita Tattva, Pancha Tattva. Yeah, and this is what we are going to. This is a detailed one. So today we will cover only Chaitanya Tattva. So in Mangalacharana, we will hear briefly about Chaitanya Tattva. That's what we are going to hear. So in Chaitanya Tattva, 4 things that we are going to hear now are these. One is, it says, Namaskara, Vastu Nirdesha, Ashirvada, internal reasons. They are very wonderful, Shastric and technical. But for our easier understanding, we are going to look at the subject matter like this. Today we are going to hear about how the Lord is presenting himself in the form of Panchatattva, and how the Lord is rejoicing himself in 6 features. Okay? And about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? And why did he descend here? What are the internal reasons and external reasons? Like that. So we will hear about the tattva of the Lord, about Lord Chaitanya, the internal and external reasons of the descent. These are the 4 things we will hear. Again, we will hear it briefly, like a flow, because it's a Chaitanya Pravaha. Otherwise, what happens is either it will take a lot of time, and if we try to really condense it and pack it, it's difficult to hold this subject matter. So what we will do is, we will just touch base essential aspects of this. So we have an easier understanding of this complex subject matter. That's what we're going to do. So when we say the Lord, is it just the Lord and nothing else? When we say sun, is it just a round globe that is just sitting there in the sky, present in the sky? Is it that simple? Well, it is that simple, but it can be more complete and detailed also. Sun means it's not just a globe sitting there. Sun means a sun globe which has heat, which has light, which has sun rays, and the sunlight is coming onto the earth and it is illuminating everything. See the whole description of the sun. And this is how Bhagavan can be described also. Bhagavan is described as, he's presenting himself as Panchatattva. That we will hear. He's presenting himself as Panchatattva. But he's also rejoicing within himself in six ways. So, in this example of, the sun is not just a globe, that he has light, heat, and he's illuminating everything. He's actually the Surya Deva is present there. That is the complete understanding of Bhagavan. Complete understanding of the sun. In the same way, the complete understanding of Bhagavan is when Bhagavan is presenting himself in Panchatattva. That we will hear soon. So maybe we can, but okay, let's just go ahead with that. The complete understanding of Bhagavan is Panchatattva. What is Panchatattva? Who is this Panchatattva? Let's see. Panchatattva. Yeah, this is good. So Bhagavan is presenting himself like sun. The complete understanding of Bhagavan is the Panchatattva. Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. So, Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam. This Panchatattva is the Bhakta Rupa, the Lord himself presenting as Bhakta, Lord Chaitanya here, Bhakta Rupa, Swarupakam, his expansion, Lord Balaram, that's Nityananda, his expansion as Nityananda, Bhaktavataram, the avatara of the Lord, that is Advaitacharya. Here, this picture is looking a little different, right? He should be having the white beard, all that. But that's Advaitacharya, Bhaktavataram. And Bhaktakyam. Bhaktakyam is the devotee, pure devotee, represented by Srivas Thakura, Srivas Pandita. And Namami Bhakta Shaktikam, the Shakti of Bhagavan, represented by Gadadhar Pandita. So Bhagavan is not just by himself, but he is present as his expansion, as his incarnation, as his devotee, and as his Shakti. In totality, this is Bhagavan. Like that. So, this is Panchatattva. The Lord coming as a devotee, his expansion, Nityananda Ram, his incarnation, Advaita Acharya, and a pure devotee of the Lord, Srivas Thakur, and the Shakti of the Lord, Gadadhar Pandita. This is Panchatattva, the Lord in totality. Right? So that's Panchatattva. And how is this Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, how is he rejoicing himself? He is rejoicing himself through 6 different forms. Dear devotees, these 2 things, the Panchatattva and this particular verse, they are not very easy to understand just with one hearing. But we will simply hear now. And over a period of time, it will slowly sink. This Chaitanya Charitamrita is like this. The complex subject matter, the tattva is placed in the beginning and later on all the pastimes come. So this is the only time we hear and let it sink, but after that it will be all easy to understand. Okay, so if you feel like I am hearing only, but it isn't sinking me much within me, that's not unusual, because the subject matter is like that. Okay, just this part. So we heard about Panchatattva, the Lord in totality. And now, how is the Lord rejoicing within himself? Is he just sitting there in the corner or under the tree and is just rejoicing on his own? Well, that is not false. That is also true. But the complete understanding is he is rejoicing in 6 ways. How? Vande Gurun Isha Bhaktan Isham Ishavatarakan Tat Prakashamscha Tat Shakti Krishna Chaitanya Samyakam. The Lord is present or rejoicing himself in 6 different ways. How? Guru, he's present as Guru. Isha Bhaktan, he's present as devotees. And he's present as Isham, the Lord himself. And he's present as Ishavataran, as his avatars. And Tat Prakasham, he's present as his expansions, right? Like Avatara is Advaita Acharya, expansion is Nityananda Ram. Isham, the Lord himself, is Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Isha Bhaktan are the devotees of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Gurun, not just one Guru, Gurun, that's why it's Guru Tattva, Gurun, plural. And Tat Shakti, the Shakti of Bhagavan, that's Gadadhar Pandita. So the difference in the presentation of the Panchatattva and this verse is here, Gurun is also brought into picture. It was implicated in the first definition, Panchatattva, but it is clearly delineated in the second verse, Vande Gurun Isha Bhakta. That's the difference between both. Okay. Now, what we are going to hear is a little bit about these 6 aspects of the Lord. Guru, devotees, the Lord himself, Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Actually, we are going to hear only these three parts today. In the next session, we will be hearing Tat Prakasham about Nityananda Ram and Avatara, about Advaita Acharya, and Tat Shakti, Gadadhar Pandita. That will be later. But today, we will briefly hear about these aspects. Gurun, Isha Bhaktan, and about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Guru. Gurun is plural here. There are many slides, but I want to bring you to a slide where it is easier and simplified. Okay. Let's go to this. Gurun. Yes. So, Gurun means plural, spiritual masters. Diksha Guru and Siksha Gurus. Dear devotees, these are this Chaitanya Charitamrita, and this session is the opportunity for us to hear about these tattvas, Guru Tattva. Guru Tattva will be detailed later, but the basics of that is now. Diksha Guru and Siksha Guru. We hear these words all the time, but Chaitanya Charitamrita is presenting that subject matter. Who is Diksha Guru? Yeah. Yadyapi amara Guru Chaitanyera Dasa, tadapi janiye ami tanara prakasha. Guru Krishna Rupa Hana Shastrera Pramani, Guru Rupe Krishna Kripa Karena Bhaktagani. I understand Yadyapi Amara Guru as Chaitanya Dasa, as the servant of Lord Chaitanya. Tadapi Janiye Ami Tanara Prakasha. And I am understanding Diksha Guru as a representative, as a representative, as a servant of Lord Nityanandaram, as a servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, representative of Nityanandaram. Guru Krishna Rupa Hana Shastera Pramana, Guru Rupe Krishna Kripa Karena Bhaktagana. Krishna comes in the form of Guru, Guru Krishna Rupa Hana. The Shastra says that Krishna comes in the form of Guru, Guru Rupe Krishna Kripa. In this form of Guru, Krishna is giving his Kripa. In short, Yasya Prasado Bhagavat Prasada. So Krishna's Prasada is coming, Krishna's Kripa is coming in the form of Diksha Guru. This is about the Diksha Guru. As a servant of Lord Chaitanya, as a representative of Nityanandaram, expansion of Nityanandaram, and as Krishna Kripa Srimurti. A person that is giving the mercy of Krishna. This is Diksha Guru. And who is Siksha Guru? Siksha Guru ke Siksha Guru ke te ta jane Krishnera Swarupa Antaryami Bhakta Sreshta Eidui Rupa. Siksha Guru ta jane Krishnera Swarupa. He is the Swarupa of Krishna. He is present as Antaryami and Bhakta Sreshta as a pure devotee. So Siksha Guru is present as Antaryami, the Chaitya Guru, and Bhakta Sreshta as a pure devotee, as an Acharya Bhagavan. And this is the verse that we have recently heard, right? Where Uddhava is speaking in Uddhava Gita. Naivopayanti apachitam kavayasta vesha brahmayusha pikritam rudamuda smarantaha. You antarbahistan ashubham vidunvan acharya chaitya vapusam swagatim vyanaktim. That's the Srimad Bhagavatam shloka that's presented here in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Siksha Guru is the Chaitya Guru Antaryami within, and the Chaitya Guru that's present in the heart, the Antaryami, and the pure devotee, Acharya Bhagavan. Yeah, that's Siksha Guru. So that's about Diksha Guru and Siksha Guru. Guru means here plural. Next comes the devotees, Isha Bhaktan. So what about these bhaktas? What's the specialty of this bhaktas? Glory of devotee association. It's only the devotee association that can increase our attachment to the Lord and cut off the attachment to the Maya. This is how we know our devotee association is effective, fruitful. Is our attachment to the Lord increasing? And is our attachment to this entanglement decreasing? Like that. So that's the glory of the devotee association. And what's the tattva of the devotees? That's the glory of the devotees we heard. But the tattva, who are the devotees? Devotees are identical with the Lord. This is Chaitanya Charitamrita. Dear devotees, we hear that the devotees are identical with the Lord. Because they are identical with the Lord. Ishvara Swarupa Bhakta Tanra Adhishtana Bhaktera Hridaya Krishnera Satata Vishram. Then we think, yeah, devotees are identical with the Lord. The pure devotees are identical with the Lord. But the beauty of the presentation of the philosophy here is, the pure devotees is not just a separate category. Oh, pure devotees are somewhere, somebody, present out there. And we are stuck here in this chamber and we don't know if we ever become pure. They are not like two separate chambers. Pure devotees up there and we are just fallen here and we will stay here. It's not like that. We are also considered pure devotees. The sadhakas are also considered pure devotees, but pure devotees in making, a work in progress, because we have the intention of becoming pure. And we are under the guidance of those pure devotees. That's why we are pure devotees in progress. That's as per Chaitanya Charitamrita. And the perfected beings who are already pure and in whose heart the Lord is illuminating, they are perfected devotees. Isn't that a beautiful definition? Pure devotees in making and perfected pure devotees. So that's about the Isha Bhaktan devotees. And the last thing that we are coming to in today's katha is about Isha, about the Lord himself, Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya. So who is Lord Chaitanya? As I told, there are many slides, but I'll come to the one that we need. Yeah. Okay. Who is Lord Chaitanya? Yadadvaitam brahmopanishadin tadapi asyattanubham. Ya atma antaryami purusha iti soasyam shavibhavaham. Shadaishvarya purnoya iha bhagavan saswayam ayam. Na chaitanyat krishnat jagati paratatvam paramiham. This is Lord Chaitanya. The Upanishads who is calling, the Upanishads are calling that absolute truth as Advaitam, the Brahma Jyoti. And he is also known as Antaryami, the Paramatma, and also Bhagavan. So that very same Bhagavan, Shad Aishwarya Purnaya Iha Bhagavan, the very same Bhagavan who is also seen as Paramatma and the impersonal Brahma Jyoti. This very same Bhagavan who is Shad Aishwarya, he has 6 opulences. What are the 6 opulences, dear devotees, of Bhagavan? One is the six qualities of Bhagavan. Why is he called Bhagavan? Because he has six qualities. What are those? One is he has all the opulences, Aishwarya, and he is all beautiful, Shri, and he is all strong, Virya, and he is all knowledgeable, Jnana. And because of this, he is all famous, Yashas. Though he has all these things, he has all renunciation. That is Tyaga. These 6 qualities are in full. That person in whose all these 6 qualities are in full is called Bhagavan. So that very same Bhagavan is coming down as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that's who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. And this Chaitanya Charitamrita is about this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is called Vastu Nirdesha. It means this is who this book is speaking about. So that's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay. We will just leave it like that only. Oh, Gaura Tattva is huge, is big. But we are, as I said, we are just touching the points here and there. So this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now coming to the last 2 points. What are the internal reasons and external reasons of Lord Chaitanya's descent? Okay. We'll hear it in a way where it can sit within us very nicely. As I'm scrolling all these slides, dear devotees, please understand that what we are going to hear is a summary of all these slides that we are scrolling and presenting it. Okay. So to know the reasons of the internal and external reasons of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's descent, this where Lord Sri Radha Krishna is present as Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Radha Krishna present as Gauranga Mahaprabhu. I hope we get it here. Yes, this is the slide we are looking for. I think this can be the last but one slide. So this is very beautiful, dear devotees. We have heard this in bits and pieces, but now we are going to hear this in context. The Lord, as we heard, a simplified version, the mountain at a distance, just worshipped, mountain at a distance worshipped is a simplified understanding of the Lord, but the detailed understanding of the Lord. Who is Lord? Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikrite Rahladini Shaktirasmat Ekatmanau api bhuvipura Deha Bedham Gatautau Chaitanyakyam Prakatamadhuna Tatvayam Chaikyamaptam Radham Bhavatyuti Suvalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam. This is not present in any scripture, not in any Vedic or Sanatana scripture, but present in Chaitanya Charitamrita, detailed explanation of who is Lord. We already heard about the Panchatattva and the 6 aspects. But now what we are hearing is this. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, he's actually present as Radha and Krishna, the Lord and his internal potency. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikriti Ahladini Shakti Rasmat. So, when this Lord and his internal potency, Ahladini Shakti, Srimati Radharani, Ekatmanav apibhuvi pura deha bedam gatauto. Chaitanyakyam prakatamaduna tadatvayam chaikyamaptam. So this Lord is present as Lord Krishna and Srimati Radharani, Bhagavan and his Shakti, Ahladini Shakti. They are, in order to enjoy the pastimes, the Lord is present as Bhagavan and his Shakti, Ahladini Shakti. Though they are one, but they are present as two, so they can enjoy the pastimes. The Lord can enjoy his pastimes. Okay? So these two forms, when they are combined together and descend on the earth, then that form is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the combined form of Sri Radha and Krishna. So he has Radha Bhava Dyuti Subalitam. So Gauranga Mahaprabhu has Radha Bhava. He has the mood of Radharani's mood is inside Gauranga Mahaprabhu, but he's actually Krishna. In other words, Radharani inside and Krishna outside. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We will leave it there. That's the basic understanding of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? He's Radha and Krishna combined. But the mood of Radharani, that Lord Krishna wanted to enjoy. That combination aspect is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay. And next comes the point. How did that happen? See, dear devotees, the Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy, how in-depth it is, how detailed it is. Not only describing the Supreme Personality of Godhead in detail in his aspects, but how did that happen? So coming to that aspect, why did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appear? How did this Radha and Krishna forms combine? What happened is, let's come to the past time. Lord Krishna, he was sitting on under the Tamala tree. Actually, I think that's Imli Tala. Yeah, under the tamarind tree. He was sitting under the tree, and Lord Krishna was thinking of Srimati Radharani. He was thinking, what was he thinking? Sitting under the tamarind tree, he was thinking this. This is the last slide for us today. Lord Krishna is thinking, so Srimati Radharani, yes, this one, the confidential reasons. My goodness, the detailed slides we have here. Yes, Govinda. So, Lord Krishna was sitting under Imli Tala, the tamarind tree, and he was thinking, you see the ocean of slides here. Thank you, Gaurang. So he was thinking this. Shri Radhaya Pranaya Mahimang Kitrusho Vanayaivam Swadyo Yenatputab Madhurimang Kitrusho Vamadiyaham Saukyam Chasya Madanubhavata Kitrusham Vekti Lobhat Tadbhavatya Samajani Shachigarbha Sindau Harindu. This explains everything. So Lord Krishna is sitting under the tamarind tree and he was thinking of Srimati Radharani. What was he thinking? Shri Radhaya Pranaya Mahima Kidrusho Vanayaiva. Shri Radhika, her Pranaya Mahima, her love for me, the glory of the love of Radharani that she has for me, What is the glory of that Krishna prema that Srimati Radharani has? Svatyo yena adbhuta madhurima kidrisho va madhiya. Svatyo yena adbhuta madhurima. This adbhuta madhurima, svatyo. What is my sweetness? Kidrisho va madhiya. What is my amazing sweetness that I have and Srimati Radharani is relishing? So what is the sweetness that I have that Srimati Radharani is relishing? That's the second point. So the first point is, what is the glory of the Krishna prema that Radharani is carrying? Second one is, what is the sweetness that I have that Radharani is relishing? And the third one is, Saukyam chasya mad anubhavata kidrisham veti lobhat. Saukyam chasya mad anubhavata. What is the bliss that Radharani is experiencing while she has this prema for me? I want to experience that bliss. So in order to understand these three things, tat bhavatya samajani, in order to understand, kidrisham veti lobhat, veti to understand, lobhat desiring. So desiring to understand these three aspects, Shachi Garbha, Samajani, Shachi Garbha Sindhav. When Krishna was desiring to understanding these three things, the Neelamegha Shama Krishna that was sitting under that tamarind tree turned into golden color. Why like that? Because in order to understand these three things, he has to get what Radharani is experiencing in her heart. So it is said that he stole what is there in the Radharani's of the heart, in the heart of Radharani, and that's why he became golden color. Shamasundara Krishna has become Gauranga, Gaurachandra, molten gold Gaurachandra, when he stole what Radharani has in her heart, the prema of to the Lord, the Krishna prema. So, just then, when Shamasundara Krishna is turning to molten gold, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he entered into the womb of Mother Shachi. Yeah? So this is happening on a transcendental platform. Simultaneously, what was happening on the earth? Advaitacharya was crying out loud. He was praying for the descent of the Lord in order to revive pure bhakti. Pure bhakti, which has become a laughing stock by the atheists. So that's why Advaitacharya Prabhu was praying intensely for the Lord to descend. Tulasi dalamatrena jalasya chulukena vam vikrinite swam atmanam bhaktebhyo bhaktavatsalaha. So that's what was happening on the earth planet. In this material realm, Advaitacharya was offering the Ganga water and Tulsi to the Shalagrama. So these two incidences coincide. This is the coincidence of these two incidents. When Lord Krishna wanted to, desired to understand these three aspects and relish it as he's becoming Gauranga Mahaprabhu and entering into the Sachi Mata's womb, that's when Advaita Acharya was praying, "Oh Lord, can you please descend to revive pure devotion?" So with this we understand the internal reason of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's descent is these three things that we have just heard. He wanted to know the glory of the Krishna Prema that Radharani was carrying in her heart. And he wanted to know the sweetness, his own sweetness that Radharani was tasting. And he wanted to experience the bliss of devotional service that the Radharani is experiencing. These are the internal reasons of the descent of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then what will be the external reasons? We hear in order to establish Sankirtan movement, right? In order to establish Raga Bhakti. Those are the external reasons. We hear that, right? But when we understand, this is the understanding. When a glass has honey in it, yeah, when it is full of honey, what will pour out from the glass? It's the same honey that pours out, right? This is very important to understand, dear devotees. This is Gauranga Mahaprabhu. This point is very important to understand. Whatever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to relish, his internal reasons, it outflows as external reason. There are not two separate agendas, like we heard today, this morning, right? And Chaitanya Charitamrita reading in South India trip, Dakshin Desha Yatra. Lord doesn't really have to have an agenda to convert anybody. It just happens. Why like that? Because the primary reason why the Lord descended is because of these three things. These are the three internal reasons. When the Lord is doing these three internal things, then the external reasons will automatically, the external purpose is automatically met. What is that external purpose? To establish the Sankirtan movement, to give the Raga Marga, teach the spontaneous devotional service to the Lord. Those things, they automatically happen. So in this way, the internal reasons are these three things, and the external reason is to establish the Sankirtan movement. See, when we hear to establish the Sankirtan movement, it sounds like it's a separate agenda, but it's not so. By the Lord rejoicing these three internal reasons, and as he's singing, as he's chanting loudly, joyfully, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. As he's singing and dancing joyfully, the Sankirtan movement is happening. And in the mood and instructions of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, there is spontaneous bhakti that automatically happens to the jivas. See? This is why he is Audarya Murti. He doesn't have to have an agenda. These are my internal reasons. These are my external reasons. So let me do this now. The Lord is just being himself, relishing these three things internally, and the external purpose is being met. Everybody around is being delivered. Not just delivered, they are getting Krishna Prema. Why will not they get Krishna Prema? Because that is pouring out from Mahaprabhu. It's the honey that is present in the cup pouring out. So everybody around that cup will drink that honey. So it's like that. The internal reasons and external reasons. Like that, dear devotees. That's all. So just with this, we have covered the essence of all these slides. and to simply touch base. The rest of the things we will hear in detail anyway. So that's all we need to hear from the Katha today. So in order to summarize, so we can, so what we have, these are the things we heard. Guru, Isha Bhaktan, and Isha about Chaitanya Tattva. And these other aspects, these three things, when we hear about the expansions and avatars and the Shaktis of the Lord, we will know more. So this is enough for us today. And this is a good chunk. Yeah. So what did we hear so far? We heard about, I'll keep this slide. It'll be easy for you. So today we heard about why do we need Gaur Katha when there is already Krishna Katha, right? How can Gaur Katha bring us closer to Krishna Katha? That we heard. And after that, we also heard about how is Gaur Katha present in different literatures that is present in Gaur Katha. There's Murari Chaitanya's Sri Krishna Chaitanya Katha, and Vrindavan Das Thakura's Chaitanya Bhagavata, Lochan Das Thakura's Chaitanya Mangala, and Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay, that we heard. And then after that, we entered into the Chaitanya Charitamrita, and we heard from Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami the Palastuti of Chaitanya Lila. Yeah, there we heard how not only the ignorance is dispelled, but Gada Krishna Prema, love of Godhead is also given, and there is bliss that is experienced. That is Palastuti. And we also heard about how the Bhakti Tattva is well understood when we understand about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Tattva Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, Advaita, their devotees and their devotion, their names, and their loving reciprocation that we have heard. Next, entering into Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita subject matter, we heard that it is divided into Adilila, Madhyalila, Antalila, and in Adilila, we heard about the Mangalacharana aspect, where about the Panchatattva and the 6 aspects of the Lord. Yeah. And in that 6 aspects, we heard in detail, or reasonably detail about Guru, Isha Bhaktan, and Isha, Lord Chaitanya, Chaitanya Tattva. In Chaitanya Tattva, we heard about who is Lord Chaitanya. That was only one shloka, but it would take a long to cover more. So we heard about who is Lord Chaitanya and what are the internal and external reasons for his descent. That's all. All right, dear devotees. So in the next session, we will hear about Sri Nityanandera Tattva. Okay, so we will pause here. Thank you all so very much. Thank you all so very much for your valuable association. Yeah. And anything else? Any quick things before we pause? Yes, dear devotees.